before even a single comment comes through, okay? Before I hear a single ounce of Timu Rudy or Basement Rudy or Fat Person Rudy, I want you to know I have very consciously, for over 2 years now, tried to avoid filming in this exact spot, okay? I did not purchase this painting. It came with the house. But on the day I moved in, there was a bunch of stuff around the house that needed to get either sold off or thrown away because it was purchased as is. And I saw this painting and another painting across the room over there that looked really nice, and I decided I wanted to keep them. But I also realized the moment I saw them, if I recorded in front of it, I was definitely going to get called Timu Rudy, because he records in front of paintings all the time. Really nice ones too. But I think this one's really cool because it's like this really sick-ass conquistador. Look at that thing. Isn't that badass? But anyway, I've been, regardless, called Timu Rudy anyway, but still tried to avoid recording here just because I don't know the acoustics. I don't know if you guys can hear me well, but there's like this slight echo in here that I don't think I like. But today I don't have any choice because the garage is outside, and outside right now is like 97 degrees and it's humid as hell. So I worked today out there and it's basically a sweat box, and I didn't want to record out there any longer than I absolutely had to. I didn't want to be out there longer than I had to. I can't do it in the room either because there is a pile of laundry there that needs folded and put away that I've been putting off for like 2 days now. So there's that. So here we are out here in this room with 2 cool paintings and not much else. There's a chair over there, but I'm sitting on a stool. Anyway, all those introductions and explanations out of the way. Hey there, kiddos. I'm Uncle Frank, and that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back on a stool, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about the future and where the channel is going and what I have planned in general, and it kind of explain my thought process for how I get these videos together. You know, they are, let's do the explanation thing first. So first things first, for 99.9% of the videos you guys see on this channel, very little thought goes into them besides a basic list of bullet points that I write down throughout the day of things that I should probably mention on a video for a given subject. So for instance, the other day when I was talking about like TCGs that could fail if they were under a certain volume or whatever, I was writing down bullet points for them, you know, mentioning where certain TCGs were at in the market, how they've been doing, what I overall think about them, just in quick bullet points, right? Beyond that, I don't do a whole lot of writing or scripting anymore. I did that for the other channel, and I have been doing my very best to avoid scripting. I do still script videos. The Pathfinder review videos that I've started are scripted, but that's for a very specific intent. Those are just my as unbiased as possible reviews of the overall scenarios, and I want those to sound a bit more professional and less wishy-washy, so of course those get a script to them. But for most of it, it's unscripted, and it's pulled from a list of ideas that I have sitting in the background. I have a short list and a long list. The short list is for things that you guys recommend. Whenever I receive a comment here or in email or over on Discord, I add it to the short list. The more comments, the more up the list it gets bumped, with the only thing that keeps things on the short list from getting a video like a day or two after it's mentioned is whether or not I actually have any thoughts on it itself. So when people recommend a TCG to me, like Cryptic or Shard Bugs or whatever, the only reason I'm not making a video on those is either A, I have absolutely no thoughts on it, period, or B, I do have some thoughts on it. I have a first impression, a first glance, but I really want to get around to actually playing the game. So sometimes I'll have, like, you know, first impressions of a TCG, and I'll make a video like that, and other times it's like Shard Bugs. I've had quite a few people request me to talk about Shard Bugs lately, and I do intend to do it. I just have to find time to sit down with friends and actually play the game before I can give you guys my overall opinions. Besides that, most stuff on the short list gets added to my video queue, I should say, pretty quickly. With the long list, it's things that I have ideas for, specific ideas for, that I not necessarily want to script all the way, but would like to have a more organized video for. So those just sit on the back burner for a few months before I can finally getting around to talking about those. So that's the general thought process. We are 5 minutes into the video and I'm only just now talking about the general thought process of how I do these. Fun stuff. I didn't have a bullet point today. So general updates. I have had a very busy, a very unfortunate last week and a half. I am lost quite a bit of cash on TCG Player over disputes. People, you know how it is. You send out a package, you put tracking on it and all that jazz. They claim it arrived, but that there was nothing in there. I've had a few of those in the last week or two. Just unfortunately, a bunch of them just at the same time. And TCG Player will always side with them. The one that really aggravates me though is he received his order 3 weeks ago, and only Saturday decided to say, "Hey, it never arrived." And I'm like, well, all right, let's see how this goes. So TCG Player lets you dispute those, but they usually tend to side with the buyers because that's just how it is. I don't blame them for it. But anyway, besides that, I've also been bogged down with the TCG Direct program. Fun stuff. I decided to try it out. I think I mentioned that before on the channel. But last Wednesday was the first big reimbursement invoice for that, and that kept me up late because I got home late for a bunch of reasons, and then the reimbursement invoice was sitting there waiting for me, and it was big. And I was not anticipating that, so that's fun. But besides the recent misfortunes and the gripes of an old man, let's talk about the future and what I intend to work on a bit more on this channel. I've been noticing lately that a lot of my videos have been more and more based on the TCG finance world, and I'm talking less and less about the dead card games out there, the smaller card games out there, and other hobbies that I enjoy that just aren't card games or card game finance related. So I'm trying to make a conscious effort to talk about dead card games, board games. There's some cool board games I have in the garage that I haven't gotten around to talk about yet, and other things like some video games. I want to, hopefully in the very near future, talk about some cool video games. I actually managed to get a capture card, and with the help of some really cool guys over on the Discord server, they managed to help this old man figure out how a capture card works, how to record videos, how to record footage off of that. Cool stuff. So I hope to share some more video game commentary with you guys in the near future, especially for PS1 games, PS2 games, GameCube games, etc. There's one in particular that I want to make a video on in the near future to celebrate a new anime that's coming out. But I don't want to spoil anything until the video itself is recorded and all that jazz. So look forward to that. So yeah, I want to talk about more video games. I want to talk about more dead card games, and I want to try and shy away from the more markety finance stuff. Just because I don't want that to be what this channel is about. I don't want to be, I want it to be Frank's hobbies, not Frank's financial predictions. I've had a bunch of people ask me hey Frank, where do you think this TCG is going? Is this a good box to buy? Is this a good set to invest in or whatever? I've had people ask that before, and I usually have to give some variation of, I have no idea. I can't see the future. I couldn't possibly predict whether or not a given TCG box is going to go to the moon or to the dump. I talk about it enough on the channel, my overall thoughts, but I don't like to, what's the word? I don't give financial advice. This is not financial advice, all that jazz. I feel like I have to shy away from that more often. But I get it. It is easy. It's what the algorithm likes. It's what the viewers like. It's what you guys all like. But at the same time, I want to talk more about the things that I enjoy. Man, that just so happens to be, yes, TCGs. And yes, it can be TCG finance, collecting, and all that jazz. It's definitely not going away. But I want to make more of a conscious effort to talk about dead card games. I still haven't talked about the Dot Hack card game, which is blowing me away because I have a bunch of boxes sitting out there that I've been wanting to open for a while now on the channel that I just haven't gotten around to. Besides that, there's some newer TCGs that you guys want me to talk about. A bunch, like I said, Cryptek, Shard Bugs is on the short list. Cyberpunk is not coming out until later this year. I'm pretty sure I talked about Chaotix Return, so there's that. And people have been asking me to talk about the new Pokemon set, and which is the Darkrai set. And there is apparently a new Bandai Namco TCG, and I wanted originally today, that was what I was going to make this video about. today's video was going to be me talking about Bandai Namco putting out an announcement, a pre-announcement of an announcement for a new TCG. So there's that. I wanted to make a video recording my overall thoughts on the big Nintendo Direct announcement and all the games that they have announced for the Switch 2. But I did a recording of that yesterday, before yesterday's video, and I didn't like where it was going because it was mostly me talking about how worried I am that we're getting an Ocarina of Time remake. And I know some people out there are really surprised to hear that because I'm a very outspoken Zelda fan. But let me just say that when it comes to games as important and as impactful as Ocarina of Time, there are countless different kinds of fans who want different kinds of things out of a remake, a remaster, a redesign, etc. And Nintendo has to be very careful with how they design such a game. They can't possibly appeal to everyone. That's just not how it works. So I think, personally, I think it's for the best if they just leave it alone. But the remake is announced. It's on its way. There's nothing I can do about it. So all I can do now is hope that it is as good as possible. That's all I'm going to say for now. I would like to get someone else on the channel at some point to talk about that because he's super excited. A buddy of mine that I've actually only just recently reconnected with is super excited about the remake. So good on him. But besides the Zelda announcement and the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, there was really not a lot to talk about. So, fun stuff. But besides that, my overall intentions for the future of this channel are more casual game discussion for dead card games, things I've been collecting and stuff like that. More talking about video games that I really haven't had an opportunity to talk about before, especially the more collecting side of things, because I don't think I've talked about video game collecting yet on the channel, or at least not in-depth video game collecting, my tips, my advice, and my experience with it. And I would like to talk more generally about some of the other things that I enjoy. So there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a weirder video, but it is what it is, right? Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, Discord, Patreon, TCG player link, all in the description below. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Boop.